Hi, this is 2014 and my name is Esther. You know what is trending on the internet at the minute? What is the meaning of life? Yeah, I know some guys have tried to answer that question, like this guy here, and this one as well. But I think the answers sometimes are too limited. So I'm going to try to give a few answers of the meaning of life. To be able to give the meaning of life, you have to be able to define what is life itself. You have also to define what your identity is. Where you place yourself with your identity, that's where you can be able to give the meaning of life. So you need to be able to look back into your life and then just kind of outline the stages of life that you've gone through. And out of that, you can be able to describe your identities and the meaning of life within those identities. So you need to be able to reflect into your life before you can be able to answer this question: what is the meaning of life? So think at the minute, just think. Take some time, think, and write down your definitions of life. After that, think again and try to write all the definitions of your identity, who you think you are, who do you represent yourself as. Take a moment and jot them down and be honest to yourself. Yeah, you don't have to share this here, but be honest to yourself. Who do you think you are? You can choose to share if you want to. When I think of my own identity and my life, I try to think, when is the first time I became aware of me? When is the first time I became aware of the world? When is the first time I became aware of this question: what is the meaning of life? Looking back, maybe I was about 5 years old when I woke up one morning and I realized I was in a single room with my sister, my parents were there, and my other relatives. But on that particular moment, it's the things that happened that particular moment that are glued into my mind. My ears had been pierced. My ear was also oozing because it was infected. Then I remember another occasion when I had a wound. So those instances when there were things that were happening in my life, as a child, I can remember them. And then as I grew and as I became older, particularly now at this age that I am, I'm more conscious of who I am. And I keep on asking, what's the purpose of my life? Now, the meaning of life is given in so many ways. Yeah, it can be philosophical, those arguments about ideologies. It can be spiritual, it can be social, it can be cultural, biological. So when you think about what's the meaning of life, you need to think around all these topics. Philosophically, it's so debatable. Yeah, and the same thing with the ideological and the spiritual. Yeah, the biology one is the easiest. You say, oh, we are conceived, we are born, we live, we eat, we do all the biological functions. Then what after that? Is that all? So there are deeper meanings to the meanings of life, or to the meaning of life. So let me try and give my point of view, or the context in which I may be able to answer this question of what is the meaning of life. Like I said, the definition depends on the context you answer it, or the context in which you question it. Some people have said, like, life is a series of lessons and challenges which help us to grow physically, and also which help us to develop our skills and ability. The other guys, like the psychologists, who have said that we go through life stages. And in those life stages, we develop the mind and we also develop the social relationships. And like I said, there are many theories on which, or there are many points of views in which we can define identity. Psychology and sociology defines an identity as the person's concept or expression of themselves, including how others identify them. This could be the social, national, cultural, geographical, religious, All other identities or all other contexts that you may come up with, they can help you to identify who you are. Now, based on these identities that you give yourself, you can be able now to come around and try to give the meaning of your life. You must be aware of who you are before you can give the meaning of your life. Let me just have a quick summary of some of these things, some of these contexts. Philosophically, it's a critical analysis of reality, existence, knowledge, the values we have, the reasons we have, the mind and the language we use. So when we use philosophy to explain the meaning of life, it's just deeper than just giving one meaning. You have to think of the reality of life. I'm here now. Why? Why am I existing? Why do I have all the knowledge I have? Why do I want to know what's the meaning of life? What values do I have in my life? What's going in my mind? Why am I using this language? Where did it come from? So it's a wide perspective. It's a very wide topic of discussion. Then ideologically, we can also say it's a set of conscious and unconscious ideas which consist of goals. The goals we set in life, the expectations and the actions we do, they give us a meaning in life. If we don't have these goals that we set, for example, going through education, succeeding, getting a job, getting married and settling down and having children, things like that. If we do not have those goals and expectations and actions that we set in life, then maybe our definition of life will be very limited. I'm a spiritual person, and so I go on the spiritual point of view as well. I don't believe that we're just born and then the biological functions happen, then the values and ideologies happen, and then that's the end of it. No, I believe beyond the scientific definitions of life. So I understand that there's a divine connection with God and there's a purpose for my life. So my life on earth is limited, but during that limited time, I believe there are many things I'm supposed to be doing, like helping other people to be happy, bringing my own happiness, glorifying God, enjoying nature, and just being thankful of what I have. Now, on the social and cultural aspect of it, it's relating to the society and its structures, including the ideas and the customs and the behaviors, or the social behaviors that we have. So these can come under that religious belief as well, because I believe I live in this society and I'm supposed to be working for the good of the society. The other day I was watching ants and the way they do their work within their communities, and each one of them have a purpose. They have a purpose in saving the next generation. They have a purpose in finding where they should be moving to next. They have a purpose to protect their leader. They have a purpose to do something within the community. So I wouldn't say that we are limited to the biological and evolutionary part of it, that we have the capacity to grow, to reproduce, to have functional activities within our bodies and to continually change and then we die. No, I do believe we've been given an opportunity on this face of the earth to be able to do something that will benefit somebody else and will benefit even the person who created us. Then one day he'll be able to explain to us the whole purpose of life. For the meantime, take one day at a time, make it better than yesterday, and help another person to have a better day than yesterday. That will be the purpose of life each day as you wake up. Be happy and make someone else happy. Thank you.